Thomas Hardy, Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Imagine living in a time and place where your future and worth are dictated not by your character or actions, but by the circumstances you're born into and society's unforgiving rules. This is the world of Tess, a young woman whose life is set on a tumultuous path after one critical decision her family makes. Her journey is an intense ride through love, betrayal, and the struggle for redemption in a society that's quick to judge and slow to forgive. As Tess fights to reclaim her dignity and find happiness, you'll be pulled into her emotional whirlwind. This is not just a story about the challenges Tess faces, it's a mirror to the world's timeless issues of class, gender, and moral hypocrisy. Ready to feel, reflect, and maybe even get a little frustrated with the world? Tess's story is bound to take you there. The fall of the Durbeyfield family. Imagine one day discovering that your modest family might actually be related to old nobility. That's exactly what happens to the Durbeyfield clan. One afternoon, John Durbeyfield, Tess's father, learns from a local parson that he is a descendant of the once noble D'Urbervilles. It's a revelation that appears to offer a glimmer of hope to their otherwise unremarkable existence. The Durbeyfields are simple folk, eking out a living in the English countryside without much to show for it. John, suddenly inflated with a sense of importance from his newfound lineage, drops into a dream of escaping their current life. His family's noble past becomes, in his eyes, an untapped resource that might just lift them out of their trials and tribulations. It's this revelation, initially seen as a stroke of good fortune, that pushes the Durbeyfield family down a path they never anticipated. With stars in their eyes about their connection to the high and mighty D'Urbervilles, the family decides to send Tess, whom they consider their best chance to reclaim some of their lost nobility, to make an appeal to a wealthy Mrs. D'Urberville living nearby. The expectation is clear: reconnect with their aristocratic roots and secure a better future. Tess, however, is anything but eager. She's aware of the weight of responsibility resting on her young shoulders and is apprehensive about meeting these supposed kinfolk. Yet, her family's financial difficulties and her parents' persuasion eventually lead Tess to the D'Urbervilles' opulent estate, where she meets not the lady of the house, but her son, Alec D'Urberville. Alec, charmed by Tess's beauty and naivety, offers her a position caring for his mother's birds, a gesture that seems to open the doors Tess's family hoped for. However, Tess can't shake off a feeling of unease around Alec, sensing something sinister beneath his courteous facade. This initial foray into the D'Urberville world marks the beginning of Tess's ordeal. The family's hope that their fortunes would change merely by invoking a historical legacy pushes Tess into circumstances that are beyond her control. It's a sobering reminder of how vulnerable and powerless individuals are against societal expectations and norms. Tess's journey starts with an innocent mission propelled by familial duty, only for her to find herself caught in a web of deceit, manipulation, and eventually, tragedy. The story of the Durbeyfield family's fall is not just about the decline of their fortunes, it's a poignant exploration of the dangers of clinging to past glories and the stiff price paid by those who are thrust upon the stage to reclaim what was lost. This chapter of Tess's life lays bare the harsh realities of social mobility and class distinctions, setting the tone for the events that follow. Tess's fate becomes a powerful narrative about the strength and resilience required to navigate a world that is often cruel and unforgiving. Tess's struggle and resilience. Tess's life takes a dark turn at the D'Urberville estate. The job that should have been her family's stepping stone into better circumstances becomes her nightmare when Alec D'Urberville, under the guise of kindness and nobility, betrays her trust in the most horrific way imaginable. Tess, a young woman full of hope and innocence, becomes a victim of Alec's deceit and coercion, leading to her being raped. This act of violence marks the beginning of Tess's long struggle with pain, shame, and the burden of societal judgment. In the wake of this traumatic event, Tess's life is forever changed. She becomes pregnant. The harsh reality of her situation is underscored by the loss of her child shortly after birth. It's a heart-wrenching experience, but also one that reveals Tess's inner strength and resilience. She refuses to be defined by the tragedy that befalls her and makes the brave decision to start anew, away from the place of her suffering. Determined to leave her past behind, Tess ventures out, seeking employment where her history is unknown. She finds work at Talbot Hayes Dairy, embracing the anonymity and the chance to rebuild her life on her own terms. It's here, amidst the lush fields and alongside the murmuring brooks of Wessex, that Tess begins to heal, finding solace in the rhythm of rural life and the companionship of her fellow dairy workers. Tess's time at Talbot Hayes marks a period of personal growth and discovery. She learns to appreciate the small joys of life, allowing herself moments of happiness and peace. Her strength and resilience shine through as she navigates the challenges of her new environment, proving to herself that she is more than the sum of her hardships. Tess's spirit, unbroken by her past, is a testament to her determination to rise above the cruelties inflicted upon her. However, Tess's journey is not without its complications. Her past, though buried, is never far behind. The spectre of her experience with Alec looms over her, threatening the fragile sense of security she's managed to carve out for herself. Despite this, Tess perseveres, her resilience acting as a shield against the pains of her past and the uncertainties of her future. Tess's struggle and resilience in the face of adversity serve as a central theme in her journey. Her ability to endure, to stand tall in the wake of betrayal and loss, offers a powerful commentary on the human spirit's capacity to overcome. Tess's story is not just one of suffering, it's a narrative about finding strength within oneself, fighting for one's dignity, and the relentless pursuit of a life defined not by the scars of the past, but by the possibilities of the future. Tess's resilience is her rebellion against a world that seeks to crush her. Each step forward is a testament to her refusal to be broken, her determination to seek happiness despite everything. This is the essence of Tess's struggle, a poignant reminder of the power of the human spirit to endure, adapt, and ultimately, to prevail. A new beginning. Leaving behind a burdened past, Tess starts anew at Talbot Hayes Dairy, a place that promises a fresh start away from the haunting shadows of her experiences. It's here, amidst the lush green fields and the idyllic tranquil life, that Tess hopes to blend in, to become just another soul working the land, seeking solace in the simplicity of rural life. This new chapter in her life marks the point where Tess dares to hope again, to dream of a future where her past does not dictate her every waking moment. At Talbot Hayes, Tess immerses herself in the daily rhythms of dairy work, her hands moving with a purpose she hadn't felt in a long time. The physical labor, while demanding, brings Tess a sense of peace and accomplishment. She's surrounded by the natural beauty of the English countryside, which, in its ever-changing yet constant presence, offers Tess a sense of stability and comfort she desperately craves. It's in this setting, far removed from the torments of her past, that Tess begins to heal, her heart slowly mending inch by inch. But Tess's journey isn't solely about overcoming personal tragedy. It is also here, in this new beginning, that she encounters love in its most pure and unexpected form. Angel Clare, a young man studying to become a farmer, enters Tess's life, offering her a glimpse of hope and understanding. Angel is different from anyone Tess has known. He sees her not as the sum of her past, but as the person she is now, strong and resilient. Their love blooms quietly amidst the daily chores and pastoral beauty of Talbot Hayes, growing stronger with each passing day. Tess and Angel's relationship represents a leap of faith for Tess, a chance to believe in the possibility of happiness and fulfillment despite her past. Angel's affection and respect for her offer Tess a new lens through which to view herself, not as a victim, but as a survivor deserving of love and compassion. However, Tess's heart also harbors a deep-seated fear. She worries about the consequences of her past coming to light, of losing Angel's love if he ever learned the truth about what happened to her. The decision to trust Angel with her past becomes Tess's greatest challenge. On their wedding night, Tess, in a moment of stark honesty, reveals her history to Angel, hoping that their love is strong enough to withstand the truths of her past. Sadly, the revelation shatters Angel's idealized image of Tess, leading him to abandon her, unable to reconcile the woman he loves with the reality of her experiences. This betrayal by Angel, whom Tess believed to be her understanding and accepting soulmate, plunges her back into despair, underscoring the fragility of her newfound happiness. Tess's story at Talbot Hayes, from her initial hope and healing to the devastating fallout with Angel, illustrates the complex interplay of past and present, the struggle to redefine oneself amidst societal judgment, and the courage it takes to be vulnerable in the quest for love and acceptance. It serves as a poignant reminder that new beginnings, though fraught with uncertainty and the risk of pain, also hold the promise of growth, healing, and the chance to rewrite one's story on one's terms. The ultimate sacrifice. After the heartbreaking departure of Angel Clare, Tess's world once again crumbles around her. The brief taste of happiness and love she had experienced turns to ash, leaving her to navigate a bleak and lonely path. It's a cruel twist in Tess's journey, a reminder that her past seems destined to shadow every step towards a brighter future she tries to take. Tess is once again left to fend for herself in a world that appears increasingly hostile and unforgiving. Despite the profound pain of Angel's rejection, Tess does not surrender to despair. She embodies resilience, continually striving to move forward, to survive in a society that has repeatedly shown her little mercy. Tess's resolve to maintain her dignity and secure a semblance of independence pushes her to take up arduous and menial jobs. The work is grueling, a far cry from the serene days at Talbot Hayes Dairy, but Tess meets each challenge head-on, her spirit unbroken. In this period of solitude and struggle, Tess's path crosses with Alec d'Urberville once more. Alec, having once been the source of her deepest pain, now re-enters her life, claiming to have been transformed by religion. He offers Tess help and security, attempting to insert himself into her life again. Despite her initial refusal, the weight of her circumstances and the relentless pursuit by Alec wear down Tess's defenses. In a moment of utter desolation, feeling abandoned by the world and by Angel, whom she still loves, Tess accepts Alec's support, a decision that weighs heavily on her conscience. The return of Angel Clare marks a pivotal moment in Tess's narrative. Angel, having ventured abroad and reflected on his failings and misconceptions, comes back ready to embrace Tess, flaws and all, only to find her in the clutches of Alec d'Urberville. This revelation is a shattering blow. The realization that Tess, the woman whom he now sees in a forgiving light, might be lost to him forever, ignites a tumultuous mix of emotions in both Tess and Angel. In a final act of desperate love and sacrifice, Tess commits the unthinkable. She kills Alec d'Urberville. It's a moment of profound tragedy where Tess believes that only through this ultimate sacrifice can she free herself from the man who has brought her so much suffering and perhaps find redemption in the eyes of her estranged husband, Angel. This act of violence, born out of despair and a deeply human yearning for love and acceptance, seals Tess's fate. Tess and Angel flee, seeking solace in each other's company, if only for a fleeting moment. Their love, profound yet tragic, culminates in a brief period of happiness before Tess is apprehended for her crime. In her final moments, Tess implores Angel to care for her younger sister and, with a heart heavy with grief and resignation, accepts her fate. The story of Tess's ultimate sacrifice is a harrowing testimony to the lengths to which she goes to reclaim her agency and autonomy, even in the face of societal condemnation and personal tragedy. It highlights the complex interplay of love, sacrifice, and survival in a world that often leaves the most vulnerable to fend for themselves. Tess's journey concludes with a poignant reflection on the cost of freedom and the tragic beauty of undying love amidst the harsh realities of life.